Today we got some pretty crazy news about the 2023 Mustang and the fact that it may be going hybrid. You don't want to miss this. Hats off to Carbuzz and Sebastian Cenizo who found this information. So this is actually at LinkedIn, and I'm not going to show the full page at LinkedIn, but this is a Ford powertrain engineer, and he's posting his credentials, his resume here. And we can see that for 2023 model year Mustang, 2.3 liter inline four hybrid, and this is the shocking part, 5 liter V8 hybrid pre-PS low and high pressure analysis. So first, a little bit of context. We're talking about the S650 Mustang, which is going to be the next generation Mustang. So right now, we're just about to enter the 2022 model year. So this is probably going to be the last generation of the current S550 Mustang. So the S650 Mustang is going to be the new generation, and we're expecting some pretty big changes. Now this is, I would call this a pretty big refresh. This is not going to be a complete chassis up redesign. It's going to be based on the S550 that we have now, but there will be some significant changes to it. So the biggest rumors that we've been seeing back and forth among the powertrain is that the fact that this could get all-wheel drive. Now, that is sort of an issue that we've been going back and forth on. Will it get all-wheel drive? Will it not? So Ford Authority reported that it is going to get all-wheel drive, and we've seen some mules that have been spotted testing a little bit earlier here. I'm over at Ford Authority. Let's take a look at this. So this appears to be an all-wheel drive Mustang that has been spotted testing, but it's not entirely clear if it's going to be all-wheel drive. So the jury is still sort of out on the all-wheel drive rumors at the moment. Now, over here at Automotive News, which is a very reputable and reliable news source, this is sort of the automotive news source. These guys are very plugged into Detroit. This is not the rumor mill kind of stuff. This is very credible information here. Again, take everything with a little bit of a grain of salt because things do change. But they're saying that Ford's iconic pony car will be re-engineered for the 2023 model year. I think that's pretty much confirmed. The S650 platform isn't expected to change much from the current S550 Mustang, but the car could get an all-wheel drive system. So here's one on the plus category for the all-wheel drive system, and I've got a theory about that. The 7th generation Mustang will continue to be built in Flat Rock, Michigan, and is expected to have an 8-year life cycle. That makes sense. They've been doing about 7-8-year life cycles for the last little while. Ford will add a hybrid variant in 2025. So that LinkedIn post showed that this engineer was working on a 2023 model year. But remember, this is an engineer. This is not a guy who's got the inside product plans and knows when everything is going to be released. The fact that he put in his post that he's working on a 2023 model year sort of indicates to me at least, that's the next generation. It doesn't mean that Ford is going to release it in 2023, but I think it is very clear. There's been all kinds of information sort of floating around that Ford indeed is going to build a hybrid S650 Mustang. I think there's very little doubt about that. We know Ford is heavily committed to electrification. And guys, if you like this video, please do consider subscribing. Give this video a like. It really helps keep the channel alive. I'm bringing you interesting Ford and other manufacturing news content several times per week, also reviews. And also in this video, we're going to talk about the new Bronco and what Ford has planned for that too, so stick around. Now, if you want more information on the S650, there's a very good article on Mustang7G.com. I've got it pulled up over here, and they're saying that the Ford Mustang will be the last V8 muscle car standing. They're probably right. So here's sort of a big question I think everybody wants to know. Is the S650 Mustang going to offer an ICE-only V8, or is it going to be a hybrid V8 and a hybrid inline 4? That is sort of the big question of the day. I don't have an answer for that. Here's my guess. Most of the sales of the current Mustang are not the V8, not the GT. It in fact is the 4-cylinder engine. So this is the popular model, and I know purists won't want to hear this, but this is the most popular model. That's just sort of the way it is. Not everybody wants a V8. The gas mileage is not very good in the V8. That's just a fact. I had a Mustang Mach 1, which I tested for a week. I'll link the video down below. It's a fantastic vehicle, one of my favorite cars that I've driven of the year. So back over to the all-wheel drive rumors here. These guys are reporting that while an all-wheel drive has been extensively rumored, perhaps misreported by other outlets, Muscle Cars and Trucks, sources that intimately understand the S650 Ford Mustang have told us that all-wheel drive is not immediately on the table. Spy photos that have been speculated to be testing with an all-wheel drive are simply S550 shells masking an S650 chassis, say sources. All-wheel drive or not, here's my thinking on the powertrains and what we're going to get. Whether you like it or not, the V8 is not the most popular version of the Mustang. The Mustang GT is not the biggest seller. The biggest seller is the inline 4. As I'm sure you're totally aware of, the rental car fleet is filled with Mustangs, and Ford sells a lot of Mustangs to the rental car fleet, but also retail customers mostly opt for the 4-cylinder engine. So are we going to get a 4-cylinder? Yes. Are we going to get the V8? Yes. Are we going to get exclusively a hybrid version of each of these? I would say no. Ford has been pretty good at providing a lot of options in their vehicles, and this is just my personal thinking. I think we are going to get a 4-cylinder. I think we're going to get a V8. I think we're going to get a continuation of the ICE only, the non-hybrid version of the V8, at least in the early model years of the S650. And I think I sort of agree with Automotive News that they will introduce a hybrid version of the V8 and the 4-cylinder, probably the hybrid 4 early on, but I think the hybrid V8 will be coming a little bit later in the run. I think Ford wants to sort of ease this new platform in with different powertrains and sort of move us to electrification as we get to probably a fully electric Mustang coupe by 2030, maybe even as early as 2028. So this is their speculation here at Mustang7G.com. They're saying a 2.3-liter EcoBoost, Turbo 4, and a 5-liter Coyote engine at the start, with the 755 Predator engine to follow. Don't expect the Voodoo engine to return, the non-naturally aspirated, or rather the flat plane crank version, which is naturally aspirated. That is unfortunately gone. We'll just have to pour one out for that. Here's my pouring out my coffee. Sorry, bad joke. Now, there was a lot of rumors that I was reporting on about the 6.8-liter Windsor engine that is going to be coming to the Mustang as well. That was based on an article in the Windsor News, I think, the Windsor Times. In fact, it was from the Windsor Star, and this was not from Ford. This is from the Canadian Auto Union Unifor, saying that they're going to be building the 6.8-liter engine there, and you should expect to see it soon. So here's my thoughts on it. So the Windsor plant right now, I don't know if it's on idle right now, but it was idled for about 4 weeks and has been idled a couple times due to the whole global infrastructure supply chain issue that is happening right now. But aside from that, I personally don't think, and the rumors don't seem to support, that the 6.8-liter is going to make it into the Mustang. I think that is pretty much going to be for the F-150. I think we're going to see variants of that, but I just don't see it happening in the Mustang. I know the purists are going to be super upset about that. We all love our ICE engines, and I do too. I'm particularly a big fan of them, quite frankly, but I just don't see it happening. And the information now seems to be that we're just not going to get that 6.8-liter engine in the Mustang. So this comes from Mike Levine, who is Product Communications Director at Ford, so you can take this as the gospel word that this is going to happen. Go follow him on Twitter, by the way. So there is going to be a Bronco. We're talking about the big Bronco, not the Bronco Sport, the Everglades version. This is going to include a Bronco first. They're talking about a factory-installed winch and snorkel. These features will be available on the Everglades, not the Everglade, excuse me. Stay tuned for more details along with addition to build and price coming soon, available summer 2022. So your odds of getting one are probably pretty low, unfortunately, with the whole production slowdown with the Bronco. And by the way, if you've got a big Bronco, drop a message, drop a comment, and let me know how you've been liking it, if you've had any issues, what you think of the Bronco. I've got a 2-door Outer Banks coming next week in red that I'm going to test. I'm going to take it off-road. Let me know what you want me to test on the Bronco. So what's cool about the Everglades version, it is designed to travel in deeper water than the regular Bronco is, and that's because of this crazy snorkel over here that was captured by Autoblog. I'm sure it has some other changes too, but the snorkel is obviously designed to have the air intake way above the water. This is kind of a classic Land Rover, Range Rover technique that they've done for decades and decades, and Toyota and other manufacturers too. We don't know much about the Everglades yet, but it's in the ordering system as a 922A order code. So apparently, if you get to your dealer early enough, and whenever that opens up, you should be able to order an Everglades package. So Ford is going to be at SEMA, which is about 2 weeks away right now, and here over at Ford, they're saying that they're going to have 6 different demonstration or project vehicles to demonstrate the different amounts of personalization and parts and stuff like that that you can do with your Bronco. And I'm going to be over at the Ford booth. I'm going to be talking to the representatives there. So if there's something that you want to know, again, about these specialty vehicles, we're going to take a look at them in just a second. Let me know in the comments. We've got the RTR. We got the 2021 Bronco by BDS Suspensions. This is probably my favorite one, the one by Tucci Hot Rods, which has these quad tracks, I guess, for going over snow. We've also got the Bronco Heritage coming, which is not yet confirmed by Ford, but is the highest level trim package. This is appearing in dealer documents, perhaps in the ordering system. And again, we don't know too much about it, but presumably it's going to be a throwback to the original series of Broncos, perhaps the ones from the 60s. I've got a full review of the Mustang Mach 1. It's fantastic. I'm going to link it right over here. My name is Eric. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. See you in the next one.